Hello, welcome to Let's Talk Cars, a show where we love all muscle cars, unless they're built after 1985 before the year 2000. Seriously, they're all terrible to look at and terrible to drive. I mean, think about it. You have the basically non-existent Dodge brand back then, you have the terrible Ford Mustang, and what was Chevy doing? Well, they were building possibly the most bland and ugly muscle car in existence. Well, muscle car. More like starved body rail car, basically, at this point, because this car was so ugly and terrible, yet it had such a cool name. It was called the iRoc-Z. It had such a cool name, yet it was one of the worst looking things on the road, and it still is. I mean, you still see them around today sometimes. It's a terrible car, and yet Chevy decided to, bring it back, I guess? Really, they've got so many other cool cars, the Z01, the RS, in their lineup of Camaro muscle cars. Why bring back the iRoc-Z now? Well, because if that was time to bring back something that they hope everyone else has forgotten. Anyway, this is the 2019 Chevrolet Camaro iRoc-Z. So, okay, in the little slideshow or montage of cars you guys just saw, it's pretty easy to tell which one's the old ones, which one's the new ones. The new ones look like every Camaro since about 2015, and the old ones look like, well, flattened pieces of shit. Seriously, the old ones, let's talk about the old ones before we talk about the new ones here. The old ones look absolutely horrific. It looks worse than this does, and this is a I'm gonna put the front seat. This is actually a Camaro SS circa 2010, and I recently called this possibly the worst Camaro of all time. No, I was wrong, because this thing, while being too round and the color of mustard and horrible, at least isn't necessarily bland. It's got some distinguishing features, and hell, it set the precedent for what the new version of Camaro would look like. That's what happened when they brought it back. However, the iRoc-Z, without the cool name iRoc-Z, would most likely be lost. And hell, even Chevy doesn't like it. When they published the book for, I think, from Camaros from A to Z, I don't think it was actually called that, but it was a little magazine, a little leaflet you could get at the Chevy dealership about all the Camaros were made. It was referred to by the internet and fans of Chevy as Camaros from A to Z. Anyway, when that little leaflet book came out, they actually left the iRoc-Z out of it. Even Chevy doesn't like this car. I mean, if you want to get a cheap Camaro, you can pick one of the original iRoc-Zs up from a dealership, not really a dealership, a second-hand, used, whatever, probably fourth-hand at this point because no one wants it. You can pick one up for relatively cheap. It's about $1,500. That's the going price for them. And probably about another $500, probably about another maybe $5,000 to get it fixed, because they had notorious issues with Reliance, fuel. Nothing was right about this car. However, that's not the story with the new one. The new one is, well, a lot better, as you'll see from now on. Here we go. This is the new 2019 Camaro iRoc-Z. Okay, as is the new usual, I do actually have a little fact sheet here with everything ranging from the Camaro's fuel economy, which is kind of irrelevant with a muscle car, to the Camaro's price and top speed and all the options it has. Let's go through some of these. So, the base price is $55,000 with the, non-option boosted middle tier being at $65,000. $55,000 or $65,000. That's a lot for a muscle car. When you consider the Mustang GT is only about $45,000 and is, from what we've heard so far, a nicer ride than this. As in terms of actually how it handles and drives. Anyway, the engines, there are two different available ones here. You can get a supercharged V6 from Camaro RS, which isn't the fastest engine, obviously. That's the $55,000 base model. Or you can get a tuned-up 6.2-liter V8 that is also turbocharged and supercharged from a Camaro ZL1. This engine produces 680 brake horsepower. That's a lot. Like, say 5 years ago, that's what tuning houses would have been doing to their cars, not what Chevy would be putting on the showroom floor. That's a lot of horsepower. Granted, it's a lot of money, but hell, the Supra was about the same price. Supra we looked at last, one last was the Supra. Also the BMW Z4. So, yeah, if you like loud muscle cars with lots of horsepower, this, of course, if you can't afford the Dodge Demon, the new Challenger, this might be the car for you. Anyway, moving on. As I said, 650 to 680 horsepower, depending on what model you get. At the top rev speed for the top model, the $65,000 one, will be 6,400 RPM, which is revolutions per minute. Again, fast. Torque, 650 or 680 pound-feet of torque, which is, they said that it's enough that, if you guys know what torque steering is, basically, it's a phrase, torque steering is a phrase for when the car has so much torque, it will turn the damn car. Basically, you let the steering wheel, you point it straight, don't touch it at all, don't leave it locked, point it straight, and then you floor it, and it goes, or it goes to one side or the other. This car, apparently, according to one of the test drivers, has enough torque steering to do a donut, to do a complete 360 in the car's basic turning circle. So it's fast torque steering. However, they do have, of course, the standard options, track mode with all the assisting controls you can do to avoid, well, donutting off the start line if you want to do a race or just at a traffic light. Moving on, fuel economy. Let me start off by saying, it's a muscle car, don't expect anything huge and brilliant out of it. It's not a goddamn Prius, and anything is better than a Prius. Apart from maybe a Suzuki Samurai, but those are not made anymore. Prius still are kind of the point. Anyway, as I said, it's not great compared to what we see on the road anyway. It's, on the highway, it'll do 24 miles an hour. In the city, sorry, not miles an hour, miles per gallon, 24 miles per gallon. In the city, it will do 22 miles per gallon. This is all average, by the way. However, at full speed, you will empty the tank in just 19 minutes. That's Bugatti Veyron level of empty tank speed. How? It's something to do with the fuel fund. I mean, a 6.2 liter engine is pretty big. And so it does require a lot of fuel. However, they say something to do with the fuel funnel. Otherwise, if they're still using the old fuel funnel from the 2016, 2017, and 2018 Camaros, this car would be draining its fuel in 10 minutes. So they've modified the funnel that shoots into the gas tank, which is they did not exactly tell what they've been doing, but they said that it's gained a significant increase over all of the Camaros ever made, which is cool because I like high thrilling speed. However, if I was driving one of these, I'd also want to know if I was using it, say, as a family car. Okay. I want to know, is it just a good everyday car, not just a muscle-bound trackster? Anyway, let's continue. So we have, what is the body here? So the new iRoc-Z body is actually a beefed-up version of the 2017 Corvette body with some extra pieces added on the side of it, which is why it's so light. It's got carbon fiber tub, this one, aluminum or aluminum, depending on where you're from. Anyway, aluminum doors, reinforced aluminum roof. They've minimized heavy things such as steel. Everything possible is made out of carbon fiber. So it's going to be lighter than any other Camaro since the new generation came out. I mean, like the old ones were lighter. But since like 2015 with the new body model, it's been quite a heavy car. Now, let me just talk about the options. There are a lot of options, like extras you can put on this car. I'm also going to the price out to you as well at the end of the price of the car, top model, with all of the extras added onto it. So, okay, so not all the extras, because there are 4 different gearbox selections, so only one of them go on here. I'll choose the most expensive one. Anyway, so first up we got heated seats, $2,000. Onboard Wi-Fi, $1,500. Automatic gearbox, optional. I'm not choosing. This is not the one I'm choosing. if you just want like a five paddle behind the wheel, like paddle shift gearbox, $1,000. Fully automatic. So it's basically what Americans call automatic, where you sit down, you put your foot down on the pedal, you don't do any gear shift or anything like that, it just goes. You can get one of those for $2,500. A satellite navigation system, $750. I'd say most cars come with that standard now, but most muscle cars don't. So just saying that's there and relatively cheap for muscle cars. Moving on. We have adjustable suspension. If Theo was here again, I'd move the chair down. Anyway, that's $3,000. A dual clutch gearbox is what I'm going with, is $3,500. Also, on top of the already very powerful supercharged, twin turbocharged V8 engine high price model, you can put another supercharger and upgrade the turbo. It adds 20 more brake horsepower and 20 more miles per hour for a cost of $4,000. With all the best options here, and of course using the dual clutch gearbox as my gearbox selection, because it normally comes as just a standard gear shift manual, which is kind of awkward for such a car that goes so fast from 0 to 60. I'll tell you about that in a second. With all told here, right, we get a car that would cost $76,750. That's Ferrari California level. And the Ferrari California is not this fast, by the way. The Ferrari California, although I'd probably actually rather have a California, or it's a California T, a little cooler, because they're cruising cars, they're nice, they're super GT, but they're cruising. You can just cruise along with them. And hell, you can get them custom fit with a drop top if you want to. Anyway, this car will do. This is just the base high price model, not the extra turbocharger bolted onto or anything like that. This is the $65,000 model. Will do 220 miles an hour. That's pretty fast for any vehicle, let alone a Chevy. These are the cars that these guys make one of the worst electric cars in the world. Very ugly trucks, nice Corvettes, and now one of the fastest muscle cars on the face of the planet. However, of course, the new Shelby from Ford next year will be taking care of that. Absolutely, they'll be just swept under the rug. But for now, since this car comes out on January 28th, 2019, Shelby does not come up until about April 27th, I think. You'll have a few months of having, haha, I'm the greatest car in the world, until Ford just kind of shoots you and throws you away. But until then, this car will do 0 to 60 2.8 seconds. Now, compared to things like the Dodge Demon, which will do it in, if done correctly, under 2 seconds. Also, of course, this just depends on how good you are at shifting gears. This is about the average shifting gears. Apparently, you can do it in 2.5 if you're talented enough to gear stick. Anyway, that's extremely fast gear shifting. Like this car, it does have the worst apparent launch off the line of any of the big three. I'm gonna call them. So that's Ford. That's currently the GT350 Mustang they have, maybe Shelby. The Dodge. Let's just say for challenge sake, the Challenger SRT, not the SRT Demon, because that's just cheating. Because it's the fucking Demon. And this one, the new iRoc-Z. This has the worst launch off the line. However, it does have better acceleration than the Challenger. The GT350 Shelby will still cream both of them. However, this car, not only is it a vast improvement upon the previous iRoc-Z, but it's just a cool muscle car. I mean, also, unlike things like the Challenger, it doesn't sound like someone's muffling with a mouth gag while trying to choke on gasoline when the engine starts. Well, seriously, mostly Dodge, I guess here. Ford tends to keep their engine passage open so it sounds like an actual engine, but the Dodge Challenger and Chargers just go. What the hell is that? No. So this one actually sounds like a proper engine note. And of course, there will be options down the line, Chevy says, for fitting a V12 in it and getting 40 more miles per hour out of it, just like Ford's doing, and I think also Dodge is doing that now with the Demon and the new Challenger and Charger SRT versions. But seriously, as I said before, not only is it better than this car, not only is it better than the original iRoc-Z, but it is, hands down, apart from maybe the original Corvette Stingray, the single coolest car Chevrolet has ever made. And with that, good night.